And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on Ohana, and in the top left-hand corner, we have our player from MVP, Red Protoss player, Vampire. And his opponent in the lower right-hand corner, let's see, it is from Team Liquid, it is Chef.
All right, so Chef off to a great start. Obviously, this matchup is a little bit different. ZVP for Chef now instead of that ZVT. He had a lot of things going for him in that last game, actually. He had better scouting than Noblesse. He had a better early tactic, and then after killing lots of SCVs, he had the opportunity to do whatever he wanted. So those are all nice things to have in an opener for best of 9.
And we'll let people know as well that Liquid is always very good about bouncing back and forth between the Korean server and the NA server whenever they have players that are playing on both sides. So this is being played on the Korean server. He's using Xenio's account. It's not Xenio. You can tell it's Chef. He has the purple, wearing the purple Zerg. So there we go.
He does enjoy his purple.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's safe to talk about the GSO World Championship polls that we had running last week.
Yeah.
Sheth got through, so he's going to be playing in a 16-man bracket where, the top 2 from that bracket will just get a direct invite to the GSL World Championship team, the World All-Stars, against the Korean team at IPL 5.
Yeah,
so,
and as well, those players will be playing at IPL 5 if they so choose. So we're certainly looking forward to see who comes out of that tournament. But best of luck to Chef as he moves on.
Yep, so it's just 16 players for North America and the rest of the world. So some of the other players that got in that aren't from North America actually are Sen and Pig and Moonglade.
Yeah.
Sen from Taiwan, Pig and Moonglade both going to be representing Australia.
Sen actually won the popular vote. So.
Yeah, he has. Sen had the most votes. So congratulations to Sen, actually showing that he's still, he's still out there, still relevant in the StarCraft 2 scene. I haven't heard a whole lot from him recently, but it's good to see that he's going to be playing for us soon.
So we saw Nexus first from Vampire, and of course he's not going to Pylon Scout after that, otherwise you can't get your cannon out on time. We actually saw Hero over the weekend get punished for that at DreamHack. He decided to put up a pylon not just at Targa's natural, but also at his third after going Nexus first. So his cannon was super delayed. He had everything really, really wide open, and Targa just slowly all into him and won. So afterwards, Hero was very upset and actually tweeted out, "I am nothing."
Oh my goodness!
It was not a good moment for him.
I actually did not see those games. I caught some of the fallout, like Hero's tweet, and a lot of threads on Reddit and things like that.
Yeah.
People discussing the games. I didn't actually see the game, so I didn't know that specific thing happened. So you're saying Hero pylon blocked the natural hatch and pylon blocked the third?
Yes, he did.
The exact same thing happened with Hyun versus Titan yesterday in the last game of the set. Titan double blocks. He did it once successfully on Cloud Kingdom, and Hyun kind of got screwed up and didn't really know what to do, so he ended up taking the 4th where he didn't want to be.
Right.
But then Titan tried it again in the last game of the set, and Hyun said, "Okay, good. You did it again. Now I know what to do. I'm going to go kill you." It was a nine-minute game to end the best of 9 yesterday.
Yep. I was watching that. Flew in, of course, from Europe yesterday, so I managed to stay awake to watch the games, and then just fell asleep for 13 hours straight. So
I'm surprised you got through me and Frank casting without falling asleep. So congratulations on that.
Wow. Yeah. I don't even know how to follow that up. BM yourself, so.
No, it's not BM. It's just different. It's just different.
Well, wall coming up at the front for Vampire. I'm not sure if there's a little gap there, if that is a full wall. I mean, a lot of Protest players will decide to full wall this. Chef, by going around the side, not testing the front, tells me that it's more than likely walled. And this, of course, Zergling takes 1,000 hits to go through a set of destructible rocks.
Literally.
Yeah, it does, actually.
Yeah, it's 1,000.
Yeah, I'm not, I use hyperbole a lot in really big numbers as a joke, like he's going to make 1 million of something, but no, it does take 1,000 hits. They do 2 damage per swing with the 3 armor from the destructible rocks.
Hyperbole is the best thing in the world,
It is,
too.
the most best thing.
It is the absolute best, most best thing.
Extreme.
Hyperbole is. Anyway, yeah, he's gonna just bite and claw and scratch at the rocks for a while. Was it you that had the discussion about antlers? Are those antlers?
Correct.
So someone actually sent me a picture on Twitter later that evening of like the close-up of the Zergling, and they're not antlers, but they're definitely not antenna because they're these spikes that come out of the middle of his back.
Yeah.
And they have like bones protruding from the end of them. So they're like claws. They're just like back claws. So they're not really antlers or
back
claws.
I like it. Back claws.
Yeah. They're definitely not antenna, unless I don't know any other animal in the wild that kills things with their antenna.
This is a really, really quick second gas, or I should say third and fourth gas that came up at the second base of Vampire. He's been mining for those for a while, and on top of that, decided to invest in Twilight Council Robotics Facility and +1 and Warp Gate at the same time. With him going after Warp Gate, or +1 normally before Warp Gate, you think, he's going to settle on tech a little bit. It's not going to be all that intense. He'll probably throw up a lot of Warp Gates, but no, he just decides to take 5 minute, 30 seconds third and fourth gas, and then put up all the tech in the world, which Sheth has actually picked up on quite a bit.
Yeah, Sheth's doing a good job scouting, obviously, with those throwaway overlords. He can get a good look at everything that's happening. He can even see that the Twilight Council is in use and pretty much just guess that that's going to be Blink. Usually, Charge is accompanied by a Templar Archive or Dark Shrine, so you can have Archons along for the ride. But yeah, Blink obviously is a nice strategy, and if you have the control for it, you can keep your Stalkers alive a really, really, really long time. Titan had a game against Hyun yesterday, just to reference it again because it was PvZ. Titan actually did a build that was only Blink Stalkers and had a perfect hold one time against Hyun, where he had something like 23 Stalkers and kept them all alive through like a 30-40 second engagement. It was insane to watch.
Wow.
Yeah, but then he didn't build anything else, literally nothing else, no observers, no other tech, and Hyun eventually just used Burrow to his advantage and just made tons and tons of Roaches and Lings and won. But the defense that Titan displayed with just Blink Stalkers was pretty crazy.
Well, this is kind of a cool thing from Vampire as well,
except
for being supply block. Deciding to go after like huge gas opening and maybe showing that it was going to be a little bit more intense than it was, but then taking a quick third base right afterwards. So he invests into a bunch of upgrades, gets everything in play, and then decides to expand without putting on any pressure. Of course, Chef sitting back, going up to his infestation pit now. 1-1 upgrades well on the way, so everything's pretty much hitting on all cylinders for him as well.
Yep, Chef not building any attack units really for the most part. Finally, a wave of 12 Lings. He just made 9 more drones along with those upgrades, so he's feeling pretty comfortable. He is sending a wave of Lings up to the third of Vampire right now. Some force fields go down. Oh man, I thought Vampire actually botched those as the Lings tried to run back out, but then eventually sealed that gap, and some of the Lings got pinned in there. Really not much of a trade going on though, and Vampire is actually continuing to crank out these Immortals. He's got a pretty scary force of Sentry and Immortals so far.
But with Pathogen Glance most of the way done, the Infestor count's going to be pretty high for Sheth. He will be able to build already 5 at once if he desired, and as we can see, he's putting down 2 hatcheries at the same time. Surprised that we didn't see a macro hatch up until that point, but he does have 2 hatcheries. He can put out a bunch more Lings as well and make sure that his mineral count does stay low, because he does have quite a bit of stuff coming up all at once. It's going to require gas.
Interesting that Charge is actually coming out now from the Twilight Council. We have only one. Excuse me, that's 1 observer in production, not already on the field. I was going to say that's not a lot of observers to help out with the Blink, but we do have some nice force fields there. Going to grab a couple of Ling kills for free. You can see all that blood on the ground. That Chef is just kind of tossing away Lings. I don't know, it's got to be just a delay tactic to keep running past the front like that. Just, getting close to the bandsaw and backing off at the last second, just to delay him a little bit from moving across the map.
Well, he knows, of course, that his opponent decided to go for a quick 3 base and, needs to be able to build up for a while, though. So, he is sitting back. He's got more Lings coming out. I guess I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen Hive yet. Hive right now, even if he's not really going to use the units at the moment, he had the resources to expend and put into it. There finally is starting to come up, and he's reinvesting back into his upgrades as well.
All right, so these Lings obviously not going to be super effective by themselves. He's going to keep some of those, back just to soak shots from the Stalkers and run the rest away, so he can keep them alive long enough to rejoin those Infestors. Ling Infestor is pretty much all he's got on the field at the moment. Here actually comes some Roaches for the first time as he builds a wave of 4 Glio Reconstitution being researched for that Roach speed. Burrow obviously is another big one, and now we have Vampire moving into the 4th base of Chef. Going to be able to take that out easily as it is undefended. Now we're going to watch the minimap to see where Chef actually is heading with all of his units. It looks like he wants to gun it straight over to the 3rd of Vampire and try and catch him away from home.
And he may be able to do that, at least for a little while. Now, of course, Vampire's going to be back with a lot of charge lots, though, so these Zerglings aren't going to sit here for all that long. Maybe they'll find a way to get a Nexus kill here in a second. Sheth's actually just continuing to run on by. Of course, Zerglings are cheap. You're not too worried about those. Usually, this Nexus is getting pretty low, but it looks like all the Zerglings are going to get cleaned up, and that is actually pretty devastating. If he doesn't get any sort of a Nexus kill, even if he kills a fair number of probes, which really not that many have fallen, these will be a lot of thrown away Lings.
He is killing some more probes now inside the main, working on those ones harvesting gas, so that's some good targeting there. He doesn't really have enough lings to fight, obviously, so he is just going to continue running around. Oh, he might have had an open shot at the ramp there just for a second, but he's going to split those up and actually try and get back into the natural mineral line as well. All the while, he is building lots and lots of roaches and infestors back at home to make a new sort of force for Vampire to have to be able to deal with.
Yeah, but I mean, not a lot of forces have been created yet. He's finally starting to produce another 13 roaches, but he wants to be banking gas right now, so he can eventually go up to Broodlords or Ultralisks or something along those lines, and now he just has to produce whatever he can to make sure he's going to stay safe through the next attack, and at a time when he was investing in a tech, that's not what he wanted to happen. So Spire's coming up. There's another base off to the side as well. I mean, good job of using the larvae as well before they exploded because they were off creep. So Sheth is going to need something here in a hurry, though, because Vampire's got a very strong army moving across the map.
If Sheth is quick on the draw with his fungals, he can catch a lot of these zealots and sentries. Those die to just a few fungals. So if he can keep delaying long enough and keep making those roaches, he should be able to stay alive. You're right, though. He did actually lose that hatch at a very inopportune time, right as he was finishing a bunch of upgrades when he wanted to be making units. But we have this major encounter now. Lots of fungal growth going down. Lots of infested swarm eggs hitting the turf. And, ooh, way more charge lots and Archons actually approaching from the top left there. I didn't even know those were there. And some good force fields are going to allow Vampire to clean up in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Sheth wanted to engage the army in 2 spots, but he unfortunately got a lot of units kind of caught out in the open, and his fungal growths didn't really kill all that much stuff. I mean, 2 fungals hit the sentries, that's why they're pretty low in health, but, you know, that wasn't enough to actually kill any of the forces there. More fungal growths dropping down on top now, and we'll see if he's able to finally start catching some of these units at the choke point here and doing damage, but as it stands, the infestor count is starting to dwindle. There's a few roaches that are sitting there, but now a good number of the spine crawlers up at the front have been gone through.
Yep, spine crawlers dying left and right. Fungal growth is still hitting, and these infested swarm eggs are still popping out to try and help out with that DPS. There's just not a lot of fighting units left, though. We can see all the roaches getting splattered, infestors out of energy, and even queens and drones being pulled off the line now just to not have the game end at this point. We did see a big round of warpins of zealots, and actually more charge lots are filing, and now Vampire actually has a huge force off to the right side a little bit, even not even participating in this fight.
Yeah, and here they come now. A few Archons were being morphed in there, but, you know, it's only 90 supply and falling now for Sheth. He's pulled everything off of the line. The roaches are just continuing to take so much damage. 14, 16 kills on this Archon, which is just continuing to plow through his opponent's units. There's the trademark GG exclamation mark from Sheth, and he has gone down. Vampire tying things back up for MVP.
All right, Vampire had some obviously valuable timings there,